Hi there. Thanks for coming down the page to drop in and just say hi. Let me ask you a question. Why do you think you clicked on my link? Because you probably think this isn't you. You're okay. You're just working hard. You've got a demanding career and it requires a lot of your time. That's all. Well, think about this. If you thought you were okay with your current work-life balance, do you think you'd be listening to me now? Probably not, hey? So what's going on with you? You're not sleeping? You've tried pushing yourself harder in the hope that it'd make you tired enough to sleep? How'd that work out for you? Maybe you've tried upping your gym time, thinking you probably just need to have more energy and you think this will help. Did it? That glass of wine you used to have of a night, now turned into a bottle every night. And for some reason, that's all you can focus on during the day now. That wine when you get home. You know what that wine's doing actually? It's blocking out the pain. And yes, you are in pain. And you know deep down that you need to do something about it. And you think you've tried everything, nothing's working. Does that sound familiar? Hi, I'm Mari. Mari G, better known as. Believe it or not, I was exactly where you are now, a little while ago. And I was working for a very large, it's worldwide hotel chain actually, when I came back to Queensland from after living in the Territory. I can't say which chain, I better not, but let's just say it was pretty widely known as a bit of a boys' club. So you may or may not relate to working in a boys' club, but as a woman, it's not easy. And going to work in the dark and coming home in the dark, just to get home and then have to start working on another job that's due the next day. It's not really ideal, is it? That was just one of the demanding careers I've had. There's more stories where that came on the other side. Anyway, I used to just crave doing something normal, like maybe, cooking some meals or just going out just for a leisurely drink with some friends or going to the movies even. But I just couldn't settle down. It was like I was on constant alert the whole time, just waiting for the next disaster to show itself. And it's no way to live. And I just wish I'd had someone to just come along like me and tell me that I needed to do something about it. So after 20 plus years in hospitality management positions, I had to get out before I was doing 15 to 20 in Long Bay. That's a prison in Australia, for those of you who are not Aussies. So I got out and with absolutely no idea what I was going to do, but I just knew I had to settle down and just think about me for a change, which eventually took me to hypnotherapy, counselling and life coaching and helping women like you to get through your daily challenges, which we face every day, no matter what life chooses to throw at us. And I know from experience how many women are suffering from burnout. And thinking back to a lot of the jobs I had, none of us would have even known that's what it was. But I now know there are definitely signs, and you'll be the same. You may not even notice there's too much wrong because you've always got some logical explanation for the way you feel. But it's actually justification. Humans are really good at justification. Oh, I'm just tired. That's why I'm snapping at everyone. I haven't got time. I haven't got time to spend the whole afternoon with the family. They're the main ones. But I know deep down you'd be noticing a lot more wrong because things like a lot of stress, anxiety, overwhelm, they start to manifest in your physical body and they need to be addressed. You might also be noticing your relationships with your family and friends aren't what they used to be. Again, another symptom of burnout. And what about your family? Or your kids, if you've got any kids, especially little kids? The kids won't remember as they get older that mum had, for instance, an important job as a high-powered lawyer for a big skincare company. They'll remember the feeling that mum couldn't be bothered spending time with them because everything else was so much more important than them. They'll remember the feeling of not being worthy or good enough for you to spend time with them. Let that sink in for a minute. I know I'm sounding like the voice of doom and gloom, and you're probably thinking, why should I be listening to this? It's ridiculous. I'm fine. But you just humour me if you're still here. I'd just like you to just sit down for a minute by yourself with no interruptions. Just breathe and ask yourself, am I really where I want to be? What's important to me in my life? See what you come up with. And then decide if you need a little bit of help to get you back on track to living the life you really want to be living. Now, let me introduce you to Beyond Burnout. And it's a program, it's an online group program I've created, especially for you. A woman in a high-powered and high-achieving career who's just gotten a little bit off track with your work-life balance, your time management, and your values, especially, and your beliefs. It's okay, you can always get everything sorted. Did you pick up the offer at the top of the page? The free part 1 of my book, The Mind's Secret Dawn, part 1, it's called From Hot Mess to Corporate Success. If not, just go back up and just download it and read about the 5 women in this first part of my book. They overcame many different challenges, and they were all in very different industries, as you will see, and they came out the other side with some amazing transformations. They were unbelievable. You know, you're not meant to push yourself until you break. That's not the way it should be. I know things are bad at the moment, and quite frankly, I actually don't know how families are coping with expenses, just, for keeping food on the table and a roof over their heads without 2 salaries coming in. But once again, you need to weigh up your priorities and come to some decisions. Now, I created Beyond Burnout. Yes, beyond, meaning that's the result of doing the program. You get to go beyond your current situation. You'll be able to release the pain, the negative emotions you're feeling. Look at what, you think is lacking in your life, what you really want, and get back your identity, meaning you. Get back you. And get back control of your life, your energy, that special edge that I'm sure you've all got at work. And start to build a future that you actually want. And more importantly, just learn to calm down. And you'll also learn how to manage things which are out of your control, because you can't control everything. Everything's going to keep coming at you every single day. And what I'll teach you is how to manage what is coming at you every day, because you'll never control it. And you'll also learn, get some tips and tricks and some good tools and resources to help you get rid of that anxiety and stress and that overwhelm that's been consuming you every single day. And this is all done naturally through the power of my hypno-energy sessions, I call them. Yes, I made that up. It's a combination of hypnosis and energy healing. Now, you may have certain preconceived ideas about hypnotherapy or hypnosis, which is fine. Most people do. However, it is the most permanent and rapid way to heal. And I've seen some absolutely amazing women transform their lives because they were adamant that something had to change, and it was up to them to make it happen. They committed to it, they saw it through, and they got everything they were hoping for. And that's what makes it all worthwhile. So, yes, you could go and you could do talk therapy, but how long are you going to go to something for weeks on end and just talk about what's happening in your life without any actual changes happening? So, have a good think about everything. Think about what you want and see if this is worthwhile. Just getting help and just transforming your life. And don't worry, you'll be getting to speak to me personally. We've got a private community and it's a safe space. And this is where you'll be able to chat with some women in the same position of you and as you and going through exactly the same as you. And this is where you can get all your questions out of the way and we'll have some fun too along the way. I'm good at fun. So if you decide to go ahead with the program, you can expect some major changes after 6 weeks, even probably before, provided you follow the instructions given in the program. Put the time aside, use the resources, the ones that are given to you. Participate in all the advice that, I'll be giving you. And just participate. That's the main thing. But also you need to be committed. All my clients that have been committed with their programs with me over the past years have had the best results. And, it's funny, like a lot of the women say when they do their programs, oh, Mari, I'm just grateful to get this time to myself with you every week with no interruptions and just think about me for a change. Makes it all worthwhile. Anyway, that's about it from me. So it's your choice. It always is. But think about your life's priorities. Or are you too busy? If you don't have time, if that's the first thing that comes to your mind, then I want you to think, who don't I have time for? I really, really hope I get to meet you inside the community and have some fun in the very near future. So thanks for listening and have a great day. Bye for now.